Ladies and gentlemen, about to get started. Before you get too comfortable, I'd like to ask each one of you to stand for the presentation of the colors, and then afterwards we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
Uniform personnel, freeze and off!
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jaime Chamberlain, and I'll be your MC for today. 2 years ago, almost to the day, we were in this exact same location for the groundbreaking ceremony of Mariposa State Route 189 infrastructure project. Today, after issues like a global pandemic, a highly disrupted supply chain, and so much more, the Arizona Department of Transportation has completed a truly historic project. A project which makes our community of Nogales look and feel like a metropolitan city. But before we get started with today's program, I want to recognize the sacrifice of one of Nogales' own brave souls, Nogales Police Officer Jeremy Britton. Officer Britton lost his life while helping to ensure the safety of those working on this project, as well as for the public at large. I want to recognize the members of his family that we have with us here today. His wife Denise, his daughters Sophia and Adele, and his sons Justin and James. Officers Brinton's in-laws, Mr. and Mrs. Valenzuela, are also here. And Jeremy's fellow brothers and sisters in uniform are represented by Nogales Chief of Police, Officer Roy Bermudez. Please join me in a moment of silence in Officer Britton's memory. Thank you. I'm here today as the chairman of the Greater Nogales-Santa Cruz County Port Authority, an organization that is focused on improving our community's infrastructure needs as well as the quality of life for the residents of ambos Nogales and Santa Cruz County. The Mariposa project is one significant example of the work we do. Allow me a moment to recognize our board of directors. This board represents every major aspect of local government and the private sector in our community. The governments of Nogales, the city of Nogales, Santa Cruz County government, Nogales Community Foundation, the Nogales Economic Development Foundation, Nogales Customs House Brokers Association, the Fresh Produce Association of the Americas, and Index Nogales, the Santa Cruz County Mining Cluster, and as well as our newest member, the Nogales Santa Cruz County Chamber of Commerce. In keeping with its vision, the Port Authority helped build consensus in support of this project. Some people may say it's just another road or another bridge, but in reality, this is the gateway for so much more, including international trade and tourism, and it is a catalyst for regional investment. These types of infrastructure projects make our community safer, more efficient, and they put us at the forefront of economic opportunity and prosperity. This project started as a dream, and it's now become a reality. And that is what we're here to celebrate. I want to give a special thank you and recognition to the following people for being with us today and that have supported this endeavor with great enthusiasm. CBP Nogales Port Director Mike Humphreys, U.S. Consul General Laura Bietabach, Lorraine Rivera, the Governor's new Director of Southern Arizona Governor's Office, David Figueroa is representing the state of Sonora, Carla Avalos and Robert Guerrero from Senator Kelly's office. And although they're not here today, but I also wanted to mention the support of Senator Christian Sinema and also Congressman Grijalva. And I would be remiss if I did not mention the late Senator John McCain and his active support on this project. From the Ames Construction Company, we have Paul Arnold and Regional Vice President Chris Kane, Project Executive. Thank you very much. Now we'll have one of our speakers up here to say a few words about what the vision of this project is and what it took to get here today. And our first speaker is a man who is responsible for one of our state's largest and most important agencies. His unwavering support and his wise advice have guided our community through this first phase of a broader, safer, and more efficient infrastructure system for Santa Cruz County. He's not only my personal friend, but over the years he has become a friend to every other Port Authority chairman before me. And on behalf of past chairmen Terry Shannon, J.B. Manson, Bruce Bracker, and Guillermo Valencia, I want to introduce nuestro amigo, Arizona Department of Transportation Director John Halikowski.
Well, good morning. I actually thought Jaime was talking about somebody else, so I was really surprised when he called out my name. Never heard him use the term wise along with my name unless there was a wise something behind it. So thank you for that, Jaime. You know, it's really a privilege and an honor for me to be standing here with you today. As you've heard, this has been an incredible joint effort, a team effort from our partners at the federal level, state level, county, city, all the levels are standing next to an amazing project today that was designed to improve safety, speed up international commerce, and relieve traffic congestion. You know, many of us were here a couple years ago when we had the ribbon cutting to start the project. You remember what it looked like then, but you know, you can tell now, looking behind us, it's just been an incredible change. Largest project in rural Arizona, $134 million later, and we can just see the success that our teamwork has brought about. The crews have widened approximately 3 miles of State Route 189 from just north of the Mariposa port of entry to the intersection with Grand Avenue. There's a new roundabout at SR 189 and Target Range Road that was constructed, and new flyover ramps connecting SR 189 to Interstate 19. Along with that work, crews have improved drainage and installed a new traffic light signals. So it's quite a difference. The goal of the project was to improve traffic flow and safety. Unfortunately, noise will be our next hurdle to deal with. But I won't ever forget the day that I was driving down through Grand Avenue with Jaime, and he said, "Director, we have got a safety problem. We have high school kids that are intersecting with truck traffic every day, and it's dangerous." And that day stuck with me, and I said, "We've got to do something about this. We've got to fix this problem." So proudly to stand here today to tell you we've improved safety. And estimates show that we're going to reduce travel time immensely, not only for the truck drivers, thank you for the shout out, but folks who are passing through here daily, and local residents, especially the residents of Nogales. Taken a lot of work and collaboration to get here, and I just want to recognize each and every one of you for playing such an important role. You know, I was talking with Carla Petty earlier, our FHWA administrator, and she said, "I'm not used to being around so many people like this anymore." And it's really good we could get back together like this again and share some time together, and a special opportunity to reflect on the years of planning that have gone through this. Standing here now, you know, I'm proud of what we've accomplished, but that vivid memory of March 4th, 2020 will always be there here for that groundbreaking. There was plenty of excitement. Lots of people spoke about the great impact this project would have for the community and for international travel and trade. And then a week later, COVID-19 hit us with a vengeance. It was officially declared a pandemic and a national emergency. So much of the world shut down all of a sudden, and we were dealing with issues we never had to deal with before. But looking at this remarkable finished project offers a very real reminder about the importance of working together, forming relationships in order to face and find solutions to difficult problems. So because of that, I want to give a special thank you to everyone who helped ensure a safe working environment on this project, especially our partners at Ames Construction, and the men and women who worked on this site over the last 2 years. No project of this scale can be built without the efforts of people who are there to work on it every day. So I want to add a couple more things here. As I said, we're grateful for our partners at Ames. We're fortunate for our strong partnerships. We appreciate the work done by our members of the State Transportation Board who are here today, and also our past chairman of the State Transportation Board who's here today. And thank you to the local leaders of Nogales and Santa Cruz County for the project. Early on, you committed a portion of your overweight permit fees and that revenue using that innovative funding mechanism that put us over the line to move this project forward. And I don't want to forget our partners from the U.S. Department of Transportation for writing a $25 million Tiger grant. That money, along with a $25 million appropriation from Governor Doug Ducey and this Arizona legislature, allowed us to build the project all at once instead of breaking it up into 2 phases. So finally, I want to thank this community. Support from drivers, business owners, and residents has been beyond compare. You know, usually we get many complaints from the community as we're doing a project, and we did not get a lot. And I think that's true to thanks of Ames Construction and also Jaime, who held the flow back of all the complaints that he took on our behalf. So I want to just tell you that we're happy and we're sure that this is going to make Nogales and Santa Cruz County an even better place to be. So in closing, I'm thankful to the many new friends that I've made as a result of this project. And I met 2 of them new today. I met our Consul General, Laura Biedebach, and I also met today David Figueroa, who's working with Governor Durazo and us. So lots of new relationships are still coming about as a result of this project. And time doesn't allow me to name them all, but I want to just impart to you that we have stood together, and you have stood beside me and the department on this project and other issues important to the region. Let's continue to use that strength, that unity of standing together. There's nothing more important to getting things done than a strong bond and a common goal. This is a proud success for Nogales and our border communities. We have truly moved what some thought was immovable at one time. So I'm going to miss you, Jaime, calling me every week, every Friday night saying, "Director, what's going on with the project? Are we close to getting it done yet?" So in true spirit and a little fun, Jaime, I have to tell you, as much as you put in it, I can't name it the Jaime Highway. And I would also say that my friend Cruz we can't name it. That's the sound of money, friends. To Bruce Bracker, we can't name it Bracker Boulevard. To Guillermo Valencia, we can't name it the Memo Mile. To Mayor Garino, who supported us through it, it can't be the Garino Gateway. And finally, to my friend Juan Ciscomani from the governor's office, who has been just an incredible pillar helping us through this. It will not be the Ciscomani connector. So we hope for the best. I wish you all health and well-being in the future. And again, just thank you for your support. of you have stood together and truly moved the movement.
He wrote that last part last night. That's what he did. Thank you, Director Holakowski, and thank you for all your guidance and all your help with this. It was an amazing endeavor, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention your staff. Not only your staff that you had on this project, but your staff that you have back up in Phoenix. They've been an incredible agency to work with. You are an example for the state of Arizona in what can be done with when you have leadership like yours. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. Now we're fortunate to have with us the chairman of the Arizona Transportation Board, Supervisor Jesse Thompson. He just flew in from Flagstaff for this event, and I want to recognize that during the height of the pandemic, Supervisor Thompson worked with Supervisor Bracker of Santa Cruz County and the Fresh Produce Association of the Americas, and we were able to send dozens and dozens of truckloads of fresh produce to the Navajo Nation during the construction of this project and the COVID pandemic. So I want to recognize Jesse for not only his position as chair of the Arizona Transportation Board, but also in his work within his community. And there are other board members here that are here today that I want to recognize: Ted Maxwell, Steve Stranton, and Richard Searle. Thank you very much from the Arizona Department, the Arizona Transportation Board. Thank you very much for your support and everything you did in pushing this project when there were other projects that were probably in front of us, but we were louder. So thank you all very much. Chairman, you're next. Thank you.
Good morning to all of you that are present here today. First of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to Santa Cruz County Board Supervisors. When the pandemic started way up north, we were really hit hard. But immediately they contacted not only the county supervisor, but the tribes out there, Navajo, White Mountain, Hopi, many others. And I know there's a lot of collaboration that took place to get this done. And we would certainly like to say thank you on behalf of all the tribes and all the leadership and all the public in that area. So usually many of my visits to the communities way out the northern part of Arizona, and I never know what I'm going to say for large crowd like this. When I was asked to come around here, I had feels running up my spine. Wow, I wonder what kind of people these are going to. I saw that sign that were coming in and said, "We are all friends." It's a comfort in me, so thank you for inviting us. Good morning. On behalf of the Arizona Transportation Board, I'm happy to be here as we mark the completion of the State Route 189 Improvement Project. This is a project worth celebrating. Beyond helping traffic flow and improving safety, this project is going to make it easier for international commerce to move through Nogales. We know that the Mariposa port of entry here in Nogales is one of the busiest cargo parts along the United States and Mexican border. 350,000 trucks pass through the port of entry each year, representing more than 26 billion worth of trade. We also know that it's projected to get much busier over the next several years. That is why these improvements, which promote efficiency and safety, are so vital to the community, the state of Arizona, and the country. I want to echo Director Holakowski and ask all to support this project as we say from Nogales, Santa Cruz County, state leaders, and federal officials. Without such collaborative effort, we would not be here today celebrating this impressive completed project. I'd like to recognize my colleagues on the Arizona State Transportation Board along with previous members of the board for realizing how important the State Route 189 is to Arizona economic growth. The board has always understood the made that this stretch of highway will have a positive impact on this community and the rest of the state. I am glad to be here as the representative of all the past and present Transportation Board members who advocated for SR State Route 189. I'm also grateful that the entire project was able to be built at once to save about $15 million. Of course, that was only possible because of funding from a variety of local, state, and federal sources. We thank Nogales and Santa Cruz County for contributing a portion of your overweight permit for fee revenue. Thanks also go to the U.S. Department of Transportation for awarding a $25 million Tiger grant. We're also very grateful to Governor Doug Ducey and the Arizona legislature for $25 million appropriation, which allowed construction to begin earlier than originally planned. Finally, I'd like to say thank you to this community. I believe that the improvement made here will have a positive impact for families, students, and local owners. Your feedback and support have been vital to the project success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman Thompson. A good chunk of this project was built with a $25 million Tiger grant. You guys have all heard. And it was from the U.S. Department of Transportation. And representing the U.S. Department of Transportation today is Arizona Division Administrator for U.S. Federal Highways Administration, Carla Petty. Thank you very much.
Well, good morning. And what a great morning it is to be here to celebrate the completion of the State Route 189 flyover ramps and corridor improvements. As Jaime said, I am Carla Petty, the Federal Highway Administration's Arizona Division Administrator. And on behalf of the U.S. DOT and Federal Highway Administration, I and members of my team are honored to be celebrating this project with you and the so many project partners here today. I'm excited for you. This is an exceptional project. This is an important project. It's going to make a difference for Nogales and the positive impacts to the Arizona-Mexico corridor. FHWA is very proud to have assisted in making this project a reality. We heard earlier, a dream, a reality. And, you know, with the expansion of the Mariposa Port of Entry, the fourth busiest, largest land port in the U.S., this was completed in August of 2014, and the need to facilitate truck movement from the border to the Interstate 19 became essential. That's probably when they started calling you, Director, of, we have a problem here. So the U.S. Department of Transportation Investment Generating Economic Recovery, or fondly known as TIGER, discretionary grant program provided $25 million in grant funding for this project. These funds were awarded for this project. It's a significant achievement and a demonstration of the Arizona Department of Transportation, the Santa Cruz County, the City of Nogales, the perseverance of trying to advance this project and secure funding. I mean, this just didn't happen overnight. Sorry, I think I'm going to get knocked over. Bear with me here. As well as the community support. I don't think I've ever been attacked by a flag before. Bear with me here. So the State Route 189 project, as the director mentioned, due to its cost, was not going to be built in one project. Fortunately, the TIGER grant and the funding from the state legislators and the partnering of the local agencies with Arizona Department of Transportation allowed for the full project to be built at one time. And this included that critical overpass at Frank Reed Road so that we could remove the high school students interacting with the trucks. To me, that was very significant, and it made the project so much better than to have to build it in two projects. So, as we all know, the past 2 years has been difficult on all of us, and this project was not immune to the challenges imposed by COVID-19 pandemic. The unexpected shortfall in funding from gasoline tax and the border fees, they actually threatened the project. Were we going to be able to fund it? I am pleased that USDOT and FHWA, your federal partners, were able to band with you to utilize other federal highway funding and keep the project on track. The State Route 189 project began as a 50-50 split in funding between federal and non-federal funding, ended up at nearly 80% federal. So we were very pleased that we would be able to come in there and provide that assistance. And as you all have seen and know, we would not be here today without the collaborative spirit of cooperation amongst the many partners involved. FHWA is thankful for the cooperation and support and appreciate the strong partnership with ADOT, Santa Cruz County, City of Nogales, the contractor Ames Construction, and the prime designer Horrocks Engineering. This project is an example of the priorities and the commitment to improve transportation infrastructure and supply chains nationwide that we look to advance through the bipartisan infrastructure law funding. I'm pleased to be here with you today to celebrate and witness firsthand the safety and traffic flow improvements along State Route 189. And to you, Director, State Transportation Board, FHWA applauds you and your team for this major investment in Arizona's future. And now, when you depart from this grand celebration, I ask that you do your part to help make our roadways safer. Always buckle up. Do not attempt to make this new beautiful roadway a speedway. Obey the limits. Be attentive and be safe. Thank you again and congratulations.
We're gonna take the flags off the stage. We don't want our next speaker knocked over. Next on our program is Nogales City Mayor Arturo Garino. The City of Nogales has agreed to contribute half of its city's portion of the truck overweight permits fees to help pay for this project. This was truly a public and a private project. And Mayor Garino was very much in favor of this, and during his first administration is when we first got the support, and we're very, very pleased that you're the mayor now with your second administration, and the project is done now, and we are looking forward to your comments. Thank you very much. Mayor Garino.
Good morning. First of all, good morning. As I was sitting there, the first thing I thought of the flags. All of you took the flags, but I'm glad you guys pushed them back. I don't think it would have knocked me down, but it would have slapped my bald head all over the place. But there's so much to say about this, because the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take you back in history, all right? And you'll probably figure out how old I am. One of the very first projects I got to see in Nogales was Hope Brook Overpass in the 60s. That was one of the first projects ADOT did, all right? Second, in the 70s, when I was in high school, they started I-19 and Mariposa Road. We used to travel to Tucson, my dad and I, on 89, and it would take us 2 days to get to Tucson. That's good. Almost 2 days. But those are the projects that we've seen in Nogales in all these years. And then I got to see Mariposa Road constructed also. So I remember back on my first administration, and I think it was 2011 or 2012, I got invited to a meeting in Casa Grande, and it was about you know, the vision and the dream about I-11, the vision about the dream about transportation and the corridor and everything. And then I mentioned on that meeting, I remember saying, you know, we have 189 that is very busy, and maybe we should do something about it. You know, there were some people that were talking about it, but this wasn't in the concept. It was, you know, see what we can do to improve the safety of 189. And I don't know if you guys were there, Jimmy, at that time. Were you guys were? I'm sure the Port Authority was there. And we started talking about that. And I said, you know, maybe one day something like this will get done, you know. And I really want to thank the Port Authority because they did a lot of work on this. And what you said, Director, it's right. Jimmy is a pest sometimes, you know. He doesn't call the city as much as he calls you, but I know he calls John Kissinger a lot, you know, our city manager. But you know, you look at those projects, like I said, from the past to now. Look at the advance. Look at what you see now. This is aesthetically, I mean, this is great for Nogales. You know, the way I look at it, we have two wonders of Nogales. You know, like the wonders of the world. We have two wonders. One, Mariposa Port of Entry. Two, this flyover. In my lifetime, right now, I don't think I'll get to see anything like this again in Nogales, and I don't know if we'll ever need something like this again in Nogales, unless they decide to bring I-11 all the way to Nogales, but I doubt it. But this is what truly means partnerships, because you look at it, and we're talking municipal, we're talking county, we're talking state, we're talking federal, you know, and with that, I want to thank all those governments and all those, especially the supervisors in the county, and I want to thank everybody at the state, Director, for all the work you've done, and I want to thank the Port Authority and all the organizations that have been part of this, which is truly a wonder. And let's just hope. Like right now, when you were saying you can hear money, and well, I once took the president of the Chamber of Tucson to the Port of Entry, and we stood on top of the hill, and he says, Mayor, why are you bringing me to the top of this hill? And I said, because I want you to smell money. I want you to smell money. Because he could see all these trucks coming across. And I said, look, that's how important this port is for Nogales. And this was on my first administration. This wasn't even, it was a concept, maybe a dream, but it wasn't done. I don't know what that president would think about now, but look at this, you know. And plus the artwork is beautiful, you know. I love it, and it's something that we could really cherish as a community. And Director, I know, you know, I want to thank you very much for all this, and you've been a true friend. Since the day I met you, you've always thought about Nogales, and you always had your heart in improving all the infrastructure and highways in our state. And you're a good guy, my friend. And I also want to thank the governor. Governor Ducey has done a great job also by coming to Nogales and by being part here on the groundbreaking. And I'm so proud of being in two groundbreakings and two ribbon cuttings, the Port of Entry and here. Two different administrations, but hey, I'm here, you know. But, you know, before I end, Jimmy, I just wanted to say one thing and to the Director. I am so happy that I didn't have to tie myself to those trees in front of the fitness center. Because I told them that if I have to tie myself to those trees in front of the fitness center, that they wanted probably cut down at the time, because they had a different configuration. Actually, the bridge was going to go from here right over us instead of that way. They brought that new configuration, and that saved those trees, and that saved you know, half of the people in Nogales. They would have probably chained themselves with me there. All right. So with that, thank you very much, and I'm glad you're all here for this great moment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I don't think anybody would want to see you chained to a tree. Thank you. This brings us to our fourth financial contributor to the project, which is the government of Santa Cruz County. I want to recognize the work of Supervisor Bruce Bracker. He's not able to be here today. He's cheering on the Wildcats in Las Vegas, but he represents the county on the board of the Port Authority. He testified and lobbied countless times in front of the Transportation Board and the state legislature for many years to get this project started and to get the project done. Not only with him, the past chairman of the Port Authority, Guillermo Valencia, you also did a tremendous job and traveled all to the four corners of Arizona, pleading our case for this project. Past chairman Guillermo Valencia, thank you very much. And to Bruce Bracker as well. Representing the Board of Supervisors today is Supervisor Manny Ruiz. By the way, the county is also contributing half of its revenues that they collect from the overweight program, for the overweight permits program, to pay for this project. Supervisor Ruiz, thank you.
Thank you so much, and good morning. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank my other colleague, Supervisor Moleta is here. I know Super Brack, there he is. Thank you, Rudy, for being here with us. I know Cruz said he was already here once to break ground, but he would give me the opportunity to come and cut the ribbon, so I want to thank him for that. To the family of Officer Britton, thank you so much for joining us here today. I know that your family gave up a great sacrifice when Officer Britton perished during the construction of this project, and so we're very grateful to you, your family, and to your husband for making sure that our construction workers were safe. And I know it was mentioned by Jaime earlier, but I wanted to mention it again. I am so fortunate to see some of my good friends here today. Jesse Thompson, when he was a county supervisor at Nogales, wonderful man, great knowledge. I have a lot of respect for you, sir. You are always a good friend. Richard Searle, as a former supervisor from Cochise County, and that you're on the Transportation Board, and along with your other colleagues that are here today, that you have a vision for what the transportation of this great state is and what it means, not just to this small little community of about 50,000. I also learned another thing today, is that I'm glad I'm not as old as the mayor, because I don't remember those construction companies, but I know that those construction projects, but I know that I've gone to the whole bridge and done some of the other things. But for a community of about 50,000, and with this project here, we are now poised for tremendous growth with major investments in warehousing, distribution, in support of a global supply chain for both manufactured products as well as fresh produce. In 2021, the Nogales Port of Entry system was a gateway for, and you're seeing some of them today, 379,106 trucks, and that continues to grow today. And the Customs, thank you so much for the good work that you do, inspecting, protecting, and making sure that the products get across safely. 2.6 million cars that have come here, whether they're tourists, whether they're here to spend money at the local shops or going on into Tucson or into Phoenix. We also have 679 trains that have come across, and 6.6 million people that have crossed these port of entries. As was mentioned earlier, Nogales is the gateway for over 30 billion worth of goods, including 6.5 billion pounds of fresh produce worth over $3 billion a year. And I was very happy when the Fresh Produce Association, Supervisor Bracker and Supervisor Thompson worked together to send food to our good friends and brothers and sisters in northern Arizona as the pandemic was hitting. So we're very proud of that, and I thank Bruce as well. So as others have stated, Mariposa Road is more than just a Nogales road. It is an integral part of Arizona's most important trade corridor. Everyone tends to focus on the number of trucks that cross the border from Mexico, but we also have the trucks from all over North America that come to Nogales, pick up produce, manufactured goods and products, and then turn around and return to their destinations all over the U.S. and Canada. Our commercial traffic volume is that of a community that is many times the size of our county. So when we see these flyovers like the one behind me and those that you see in cities like Phoenix and Tucson, it is because of the tremendous volume of cars, trucks that rely on our roads to get to their destinations. I have always said that our roads and interstates are the arteries and veins that support this great nation of ours, and investments in our infrastructure like the one that has been made here helps us keep moving products, goods, people across the country and the world. The county is proud of its contributions to this project, as it is critical for our long-term growth, the safety of our roads, and efficiency of the business that crosses through here. We are very grateful to Director Halikowski. We sat at many meetings at the Fresh Produce Association brainstorming as to how we were going to fund this project. And I thank you that you are a great member, and there will always be a special place in our hearts here. And if you ever want to get out of the madness that is Phoenix, we'd love to welcome you to Santa Cruz County. Thank you, Director Halikowski. The Arizona Transportation Board for showing vision that included this project as a top priority. And I would also like to say that today, Bobby Lundstrom, who is a former member of the Board of Transportation that was lobbying and working for our community as well as here. And Bobby, thank you so much for being here with us today. I think this is as much an accomplishment for you as it is for your colleagues that have been on the board. So thank you. I'm almost done, guys. I have to make sure that I use a big font, because otherwise I would have to use my reading glasses, and that wouldn't be good. So, again, to Governor Ducey for his personal support in getting this project done, and to our state legislators that supported the funding by the state, and that was very critical, because there was a few components that had to come together in order to make this project a reality. To the Department of Transportation for the $25 million grant. Ms. Petty, Carla, thank you so much for being here with us today, and really enjoyed your remarks about staying safe. You must have listened to our former principal at the high school about buckling up and be careful. Don't use the phone while you're driving. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. To my colleagues and friends at the City of Nogales for making the contribution just like we did at the county. It was possible because we were able to work as a team and put funds together for what we see here today. So, if we continue to work as a team, many of these things will be possible in the future. Today is just flyover. Tomorrow, who knows where we will be. But at the end of the day, this road system is what keeps this country going. It helps feed our country. It allows for products to get to destination. And we are a very small part of a big economic engine. And so for that, I want to thank you for being here today as we celebrate this great project. Thank you. God bless the U.S. And please keep our soldiers in your prayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Ruiz. Before I introduce our last speaker, I want to give a special thank you to the members and the staffs of the Fresh Produce Association of the Americas. And I also want to thank the members and the staff of the Nogales Index Maquiladora Association. Your contributions to this project are tremendous. Your trucks, your businesses, and your members have made significant contributions to this beautiful Mariposa project. And to the Nogales Custom House Brokers Association, thank you for keeping our international trade hub of Nogales, Arizona running in an efficient and professional manner. Thank you very much. For today's event, Governor Ducey was not able to attend, but I've spoken to the governor on multiple occasions, and I know that he remains personally committed to maintaining a strong working relationship between Arizona and Mexico. Projects like this one are emblematic of his commitment and his priorities. I'm sorry he can't be here today, but I am very pleased that a true friend of Nogales is here with us on his behalf. Mr. Juan Ciscomani, the governor's senior advisor for regional and international affairs, has been to Nogales and on the border countless times, and he knows our issues, and he's helped us keep the governor and other key decision makers at the state informed of the realities of our border. Mr. Juan Ciscomani, thank you very much for joining us today.
Well, thank you, Jaime. You know, I'm not saying that Jaime needs an excuse to be up in the mic, ever. But today, being in the warm sun is a good reason to be here on stage. Thank you, Jaime, for the introduction, and thank you for having us. Thank you for the words on about the governor. He is truly committed to this project and everything else regarding trade in Southern Arizona. I also want to thank many of the people that are here, and I think everyone has been thanked in one way or another, so I'm not going to take more time on that, but there are a lot of people that were involved in this project, and I know if I start going down the list, we're going to skip someone. Nevertheless, I do want to thank some special people that obviously made this happen. Director Halikowski was, the leader in this, and the reason that I mention this, not only because he gave me a good, funny shout out, but when he's right, when we had this event 2 years ago, and practically the world was shut down after just a week after this, government continued to work, and some people continue to show up to work every single day, and there were some projects that couldn't be put on hold, couldn't be worked from home, couldn't be postponed for after COVID was resolved, and this was one of those projects. Director continued to be committed to this project, and he continued to make the administration proud, but also the state proud, and we finished this project as it was originally anticipated, under budget and on time. So thank you so much, Director Halikowski, for all your work on this. You've made the state extremely proud. And of course, we have the Transportation Board here as well, many members of that. Thank you for all the support. I remember that we were at the Arizona-Mexico Commission Summit when the vote was taken to move this event up, go from the 5-year plan to make it a 2-year plan, and we were all awaiting the results as we were there for the summit. As anything else, we had 2 sets of remarks prepared, one of the vote passed and one of the vote didn't pass. Thankfully, we used the one that the vote passed. So thank you so much for all the support. We have, of course, mayor and supervisors here. It is an effort on every level. Carla Petty, thank you so much for the support from the federal administration as well. And we have federal partners and elected officials. We have Laura Biedenbach here and also David Figueroa. Gracias por acompañarnos. A nombre del Gobernador Durazo. Now, as I thanked all of you for being here, the first part of what I want to start with today is on behalf of the governor. I want to, it's my honor and also my privilege, and I want to share this with the highest level of humility to be here today with all of you. And before I begin the SR 189 remarks, I'd like to again recognize the family of Officer Jeremy Britton, an 18-year veteran of the Nogales Police Department. Officer Britton was ensuring the safety of those working on this project when he was unfortunately killed. A man of true service, Jeremy was an organ donor, giving life to 4 people when he died. Mrs. Britton is here with us today, Denise, and Sophia and Adele. Also, I saw them earlier, and the sons were also mentioned. Your husband and father was a hero. In Arizona commends his bravery and his ultimate sacrifice. The flag that flies behind us this morning flies in Officer Britton's honor, and it will be returned to your family as a memento of his service here in Arizona. Today, on behalf of Governor Ducey, I'm presenting you with a commendation in honor of Nogales Police Officer Jeremy Britton. If I can have Denise just join me real quick. Thank you, Denise. Very well-deserved recognition. Thank you for being here today. I can't imagine how difficult this is. It's an honor to have your family with us and for so graciously allowing us to recognize Jeremy. He will never be forgotten, I'll tell you that. Now on to SR 189. Now friends, State Route 189 is an international game changer and a winner for Southern Arizona. And as Governor Ducey has said, this is exactly the kind of project that we need to ensure the smooth and safe flow of commerce, bringing goods and people into our country. 2 years ago at the groundbreaking, it's remarkable that this project was completed ahead of time and below budget. How often do you hear that from government? And anything else building something under budget and early. An engineering marvel. This is the kind of infrastructure that competes with metropolitan cities. No other roadway like this exists here in Southern Arizona. Now, I want to thank the city of Nogales, Santa Cruz County, and all the partners in and around Nogales who helped this unique project make it possible. This has all happened at a crucial time in Arizona's history. In 2019, when we broke ground, 350,000 commercial trucks passed through the Mariposa port of entry. This last year, despite the pandemic, that number achieved a new yearly average of 380,000 trucks. That's again the sound of money. During the peak season, December to June, 17 to 1,800 trucks a day will now utilize this roadway. Thanks to SR 189, those trucks will move through this community faster and safer than ever before. And that's contributing to Arizona's two-way trade with Mexico, which is at an all-time high, with over $17.5 billion in two-way trade between Arizona and Mexico. The critical infrastructure here matters, and it will continue to attract the America's growing trade through our ports of entry that we are extremely proud of. This also invested in broadband fiber along with route and all the I-19 to make this corridor ready for trucking and transportation technology of the future. Friends, we continue to lead, and we are extremely proud of all the efforts here in Nogales. All this in an effort to maximize international trade heading to and from Arizona's #1 trading partner. It's safer, it's quicker, and it's more efficient than ever before. This makes a serious international impact, and it's something we should all be proud of, but especially all the members from this community. Felicidades. Now, thank you again for having me here today, for your advocacy. And Jaime knows about advocacy. If advocacy is defined by calling and calling and calling and talking when you call, then Jaime is your #1 advocate, and I'm very proud of that. He's my good friend, and that's why I poke fun of our long conversations. And I'm sure that he's had them with all of you as well. Well, I again want to thank you for being here today, but most importantly, I want to thank you for your partnership. I want to thank you for your friendship. Every time, and you're right, sir, every time you come here, you feel like family. This is a big family. This is when everybody comes together for projects like this, in spite of party, in spite of anything else, in spite of potential conflict. When it's time to get things done and win for our region and our community, this community sets the example to lead the way in this and go get it done. So thank you very much, felicidades, and let's enjoy this and let's make the most out of it. Thank you very much.
Please thank Governor Ducey and thank him for all of his support that he's given this community in all of his years in office. Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to mark the completion of this historic project. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention 3 people on the ADOT staff that probably got more phone calls from me than anybody else. I don't think not even the director got more phone calls than these three people. Gail Lewis was an instrumental part in helping us. She's an incredible, she's in the back there. She no longer works with ADOT, but she's here with us as a special guest, and we really appreciate Gail Lewis. She got more phone calls than you did, Director. But also Jeremy Moore, who's the project director here, and Rod Lane. I have to really thank you guys very much for being patient with my impatience, and thank you very much with all of my questions. You guys did a tremendous job. So Gail Lewis, Jeremy Moore, and Rod Lane from ADOT, you guys were tremendous on this project. Along with Chris from Ames Construction, thank you very much for being a great community partner. We'll invite you back to construct any other project you get a hold of. So thank you guys very much at Ames Construction. I want to reflect, first of all, and before we finish, on those negative statements, like, it can't be done. How will it be funded? Who will support it? You all turned those statements into, we got it done. This all started with identifying that the remodeling of the port of entry in Mariposa, we needed to look at the connectivity to the federal highway system. We created a historic funding mechanism, which is truly one of a kind in Arizona, in creating a trade corridor that is second to none. And it is the envy of other communities all along the southwest border. We thank you all very much for your help, your prayers, and your support. We thank you all for celebrating our opportunities as a community, and the projects and the opportunities that we'll bring to Nogales. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you. Mark, we've got the ribbon cutting. Thank you. Carla, Director, Mayor. Supervisor Molera.
De Winlab Nogales, pues nos vamos a despedir de esta transmisión. Gracias por estarnos acompañando. Qué bonito día.